Hi, my name is Michael Riekoff, and I am from Team Spork. And this is going to be a paper prototype playthrough, or a quick demo of our game. So some things that you'll need to make sure that you have handy are going to be a cheat sheet. This shows all the turns, and then it shows the activation numbers for your towers, enemies, and some other rules. And we'll also need our enemy values. We'll also need our tower values, so we know how much damage our towers do and how much health they have. So this is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to play, and I'm not going to play through the whole game, but I will play through a good 10 turns so that we get a feel for the game. Now, what we need to do is set up the board first, and this is the board setup. The number should be on the left, reading towards you, and then your spice rack should be on the bottom. You have your salt, your pepper, and your MSG. Now we have our enemies, and we have our counters ready, our health chips, our towers, our counters, and we should be ready to play. So the first thing that we want to do is that we start off with $75. Now with the $75, what I would recommend doing is setting up a way to regenerate your money. So we'll want to put down an apple. So we put down the apple, and we give it a counter, and that's going to start making us money. Now we start with 75, and I'm going to mark down that we got no gain, but we're going to lose 50, so we'll be at 25 total at the end of the turn. So next turn, we go into it with $25, and at the very beginning of the turn, we need to move our counters. So what we need to do is move this to 2, so that counts as revenue. So this, because this hits 2, this is the activation number for the piggy bank, so we gain $25. Now another thing is, it is a gold turn. Because it's a gold turn, we gain another $25. Now we get to roll a green die, and when we roll a green die, if it becomes even or odd, you get another bonus. If it's odd, you do not get a bonus 25, but if it's even, you get a bonus $25. We landed on a 3, so we don't get the bonus 25. So that puts us at a total of 50 at the end, and what I will do now is spend another 50 for another tower and give it a marker. Now that spent another 50. We had 25 going in. We gained 50 out of this. 1 because it was a gold turn. 1 because this piggy bank generated a revenue. So we lost 50, and we'll come out with another 25. It doesn't matter how you mark, but just make sure that you can keep track of your money and that you're giving yourself the proper values. So then we have 25 going into turn 3. Now what we need to do is turn these again. This becomes a 2, that's $25. This turns 1, so we don't get anything. So that gained us another 25. So now we're going to be at 50 again. Now I'm going to save because enemies will start very soon. So we're not going to lose any. We're going to end at 50, and we're going to carry that over to the next turn. So we go to the next turn. It's a gold turn. So what we'll do is gain 25 off the bat. So now we're at 75. Then we will roll. It's an odd again, so we don't gain anything extra. So that'll put us at 75. Then this turns to 2, which gives us another 25. So we're at 100. This turns back to 1. So now we're at 100. And since enemies are coming next turn, I'm going to save our money to see what happens. I'm going to mark all this. So now we're at 100. Now we're on turn 5, if you follow the sheet, and we're going to spawn 1 enemy. What we want to do now is toss 1 white die and 1 blue die. They're both 6s. If we look at our sheet, what happens is that a 2 or a 6 is a spider. So we're going to spawn 1 spider, but we don't know where the spider is going to spawn yet because it landed on a 6. That's the one roll that we need to re-roll. It landed on a 2, so it will go on row 2 at the beginning. And then what we'll do is give the spider a counter. So next thing that we do is that we need to turn our dice so we earn our money. So we always spawn the enemy, then we will turn the die and the counters as they roll, and then we will play. So what happens is we turn the die. That becomes 2, so we get 25. This goes back to 1. So we are at 125 now. We're at 100 plus the 25, so we're at 125. And what I would do is I'm going to spawn a damaging tower so we can damage this spider. I will spawn a globe there, which is the watermelon. And it's our fast attacker tower, and give it a counter. Now, the spider also has to move. So I did all of my moves. Now the spider gets to move. So the spider goes up to 2. Once that hits 2, the spider has the activation number of I'm going to use my enemy value sheet. The spider has an activation number of 2. Let's see if I can get the activation number 2. So because that hit 2, it will do its movement because it's not next to something to attack. So it moves 1 space, and the dice follows. Now we can end our turn, but I need to make sure I subtract that I used $100 for the tower. So that leaves us with 25 at the end. So we're going to carry 25 into the next one. So let's earn our money again. So because it's on a 6, on an even turn, we gain 25. We roll a green die. It's an odd, so we don't get our bonus again. And then we need to do our turns. So we move this 2. That's $25. That's a 1. So now we're at $75. We have 75, and I'm going to turn this tower, and that is 2. 2 is the activation number for this, and it does 1 damage. So what's going to happen here is that the tower attacks the adjacent, not the adjacent, but the enemy to the right of the target, the first one there. So it will attack the spider. It'll do 1 damage. The spider has 2 hit points. So essentially we have our checkers. Reds are 1 health, black is 2 health. So essentially the spider has 2 chips, and we did 1 damage, so we take away a chip. So there's 1 chip on the spider. Spider has 1 HP left. Now it's the spider's turn. Spider goes back to 1 and has to recharge and not do anything. Now we didn't spend anything because we have so we will have $75. We'll carry the 75 over in the next turn. Here's how I'm doing the cheat sheet. I'm just kind of adding. So we have a bank of 75 right now, and we'll move our turns. So 1 and 2, gain 25. Write that down, and then put this back at 1. That won't do anything. Do I want to spawn a tower? I have $100, but I will go ahead and wait for the next enemy, because I know an enemy will spawn. An enemy actually spawns on this turn, so I misread too. So I have $100, I did my turn, and I'll spawn the enemy now, and then I can spawn a tower if I wish to be. So let's roll the die again. 6 and a 5, so it's going to be 6. So we get another spider on position 5. Spider on 5, which is the bottom. Give it a counter, and here we go. So it's their turn now. So we will move this 2, and 2's their activation, so they'll move up 1. This moves up 1 also. Now that I see that the spider's here, I'm going to actually place a tower at the end of the turn so that the turret can go again. Because I was supposed to spawn the enemy first. So that is my fault. I'll put this here. I'm not going to turn it. Yeah. And then we'll go again. So we're at 100, and we used 100, so we're at 0. We go 0 into the next turn. So it's turn 8. Turn 8, it's even, so we're going to roll our die. It's even this time, so we get a bonus 25. So add 25. All these are going to turn. That's 25 more, and that one's nothing. So we gain another 25. That's going to make our pool 50. These need to turn now to 2. This turns to 2. These both do damage. This will die because it only has 1 health left. So we'll go ahead and put this back. And this will be put down to that. I didn't reset the counter for this turn. Well, now it's their turn, so it turns die once. And that's kind of the basis of the game, and we'll keep playing. So I'm not going to spend any money. We're going to have 50 at the end. We're going to go into 9. We have 50 at the start. Has spawn 1 next to it. Turn 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn another enemy. But one thing I forgot to do was that when an enemy died, you need to roll a dice because it died, and that will give you a spice number. Once you can use your spice once it reaches a counter of above 3. So because we landed on a 3, that corresponds to pepper. So pepper gains 1 count. So now it's a 2. Now it's the next turn. We need to spawn the enemy. A 3 and a 3. We can't spawn the cockroach yet. It's only after turn 12. But we'll keep the position 3. Position 3. Well, again, 5. That's an ant. So it's our first ant that we're going to see. So this is 3. There's an ant that spawns. We'll give it a counter. That's the big thing. It's just rinse and repeat. Now, because we did all that, we'll take turns on everything. These will turn to 1. These won't attack yet. These will give us money. So we gain 2 there. And this will be 1. So we gain another 25. So that will put us at 75. I'm not going to... I'll go ahead and spend the 75. And I'm going to buy another piggy bank. I think we need some more money flowing. Now, it's a lot of stuff to keep track of, so it's what we're going to have to do. So I'm done with my turn. Now that we'll have the enemies go. That moves up 2. We move the spider up. This moves up to 2. And the ant activation is at 3. So the turn is over. We have 0 money going into this next turn, but luckily it's a bonus, so we'll gain 25. And we'll roll a green die. It's an odd, so we won't gain another 25. But we need to turn all these. That's a 2. That's another 25. That's another 25. So that's a 50, and then nothing. So we gain 50 on this turn. 50 plus the 25 from the being an even turn. So we'll come out at the end with 75. I'm gonna mark that down because I'm not gonna spend any. And then I need to turn the turrets. And then these will do damage. This doesn't do any damage, but this turret will. This turret does damage. I'll kill this off because it's 1 damage. That dies. That dies. We'll roll the die to see what spice we get. We get a 6. A 6 is anything you want. What I'm going to do is make it into, turn out the pepper 1 because it's almost a 3. Because we can only use the spices at 3. Next, what we want to do is move our counter for the ant. It moves on 3. It's an activation number for that. And we'll move up 1. This thing's a little slow, so we'll be pretty okay. Next, we have 75 going into turn 11. Now turn 11 is tricky because it says spawn 2. So we're going to need to spawn 2 things. So I'm going to do this one first. That's 1. So it's on row 1, number 6. We can't, it's a spider. So row 1, I'll give this that. Roll again. 3, 5. So what we need to do now is we need to reroll the 3. We'll keep a 5, a 6. That's another spider. And then that's right. So I want to make sure I do this correctly. So that is how that's going to go. Now things are going to get kind of tricky because we need a lot of things to defend now. But luckily we saved our money. So we spawned 2. We're coming into this with $75. Now we're going to rotate our towers. So I'm going to do the shooting ones first just because I can. That they're not going to shoot anyway, so it doesn't matter. But these are going to go back to 1. This will be 2, so we do get 25 out of it. So we're going to beat 100. I'm going to use the 100 again. As I'm going to attack this top thing because it's coming pretty fast. So there we go. These need to move now. So this is 2, which means it moves. This goes back to 1. It's not going to move. I know this one is slow, so I'm not going to put a turret on it first. I need to deal with these spiders. That goes to 2, so we need to move. Okay, now we go into turn 12. We spend 100, so we're going to be at 0. We're going to gain 25 because it's an even turn. We're on turn 12. We gain our 25, and then I'm going to roll the green die, see if we get any more money. It's a 1, we're not, which is not good. But now we're going to gain the money. It's 25, another 25, so it's 50, and 1. So we gain another 50. So it gains us 75 by the end if we don't spend anything. I'm not going to. So we're going to do this. This goes to 2, that attacks. This goes to 2, that attacks. This goes to 2, that attacks. So now this attacks. And this will eat one. This will have 1 health left. And if we attack the spider, we'll have 1 health left also. Now what we're going to do is do the spider's turn. So this goes to 1, it doesn't move. This goes to 2, it doesn't move. And this goes to 1, it doesn't move. So now we have 75 going into turn 13. 13 also is a spawn 1. So we're starting to get hectic in here. We'll do that. It's a 1 and a 3, so we'll do a 3 and then a 1. This is turn 12, after turn 12, so we can spawn a cockroach now. We spawn a cockroach on 1, so it's not good. We're going to need a lot of firepower in that 1 spot. Now, let me plug in my computer so we can continue this game forward. Now, this is how the game is going to be played out, and we will keep going. So I spawned the cockroach first, and now we have 75 going into this. So now we're going to do the money first, because I need to make sure I have enough money for this. So it's a 1, this is a 1, this is a 2, so we gain 25. I'm going to put us at 100 again. What I'm going to do is, this is just one strategy that I'm going to do, and I'm going to load up on these turrets. So I'm going to put that at 1. And this isn't going to go this turn. But anyway. This is going to go 1 again. 1, 1. None of these are going to attack. These are going to move though. So 2, move. 3, move. 2, move. 2, move. Cockroach spawn, so it doesn't move. So it doesn't gain anything. Now what we need to do is go into the next turn. It's been 100, so we need to make sure we mark this. It's going to be at 0. That's a gold square, so we gain 25 automatically. It's even, so we gain another 26, so we're at 50. Then these will spawn, so it's another 25, so 75, and then 100, and nothing. So now we're at 100 again, which is very, very nice, and we're going to need that. So we're at 100. Now this is going to attack, which means that this is dead, which also means we get to roll the die. That's a 1, which means it's salt. Salt goes up by 2. Goes up to 2, I'm sorry. This attacks. This hits nothing. This attacks. It hits this spider, kills it. Then we roll. It's a 4, which means we go up another pepper. another one. And then this attacks, which damages the cockroach. And the cockroach, if I look at my enemy value, has 6 health. So we need to represent 6 somehow. To represent 6 minus 1, so it's actually going to have 5, I'm sorry. It's going to be 2 blacks and 1 red left. I'll just stack it on them right behind it or something, just so we know how much it has. So this thing's going to be a long time to kill. There is 1. Now, I forgot about the scorpion, so I need to make sure I deal with that soon. So 1, that moves up, or I'm sorry, that doesn't move up. This moves up 2. And then we end the turn. Now, this is where I'm going to call the video, but this is essentially how you play the game, and you continue until all enemies are dead. If I were to use this pepper before I left, this would go down to a count of 1, because I used 3 of it. And you'll put the black, and I'll just put the pepper, say, on this, and that will give it 1 more health on the apple. So, thanks for watching. This is just one strategy. You can obviously save up different towers, or you can try and generate more revenue, but that's going to be it. Thank you.